Hello, this is Rebecca Perry, and this is my Dropbox 3.3 Part 2 on propaganda. The first question was whether or not propaganda shapes our culture's perspective, and it most certainly does. Whether it's social media, the news, even Hollywood, all have a major part in helping us to think a certain way. And so I was raised in Pennsylvania, and I went to college here in New Brunswick, Canada. And so coming here, I had many stereotypes of what I thought Canadians were like and what I thought Canada was like. And our two countries are so very much alike, but yet there were still huge differences in the stereotype and the reality that I experienced. And so I think that gap between reality and the perception of countries further away that are more drastically different would obviously have a greater span between reality and perception. The second question was on the statement from the movie that we were unable to watch. However, from the video that I did watch, I am assuming that I can answer this similarly. The best lies that are put out in work, that people accept them, have small amounts of truth in them. And so I think propaganda is the same. It has little bits of truth, sometimes very little bits, but have little bits of truth. And that's what makes it so dangerous, is because you might know that that is true, and then you just assume that everything else must be true as well. And so I think it is so important for us to be diligent in what we accept into our hearts and minds as truth. You know, are we processing these things? Are we trying to find out if they are true or not? And that becomes our responsibility. And the third question was a reaction to the government's propaganda about Japan. And again, you know, there's a little bit of truth in there that makes the sale of the whole package so much easier. And yes, there you know is things that we need to be careful about whether it's true or not. But then there also comes down to a point where we have to view people, no matter who they are, the way God views them. And He made them. He created them. They are valuable to Him. And He wants us to look at them the same. So no matter where they're from, no matter who they are, no matter what they have done, we still have to view them as God does. The fourth question was of George Tiaki and the Japanese internment camps on American soil. Now, I am an American and was raised on American history, and I did not know that that was true. So my reaction is shame, embarrassment. First, that I did not know that was true, and then second of all, that that took place on my homeland. Most definitely shame and embarrassment. The final question was, what ministry would I do to those exiting those internment camps? That would most definitely have to start with asking for forgiveness and repentance of the horrors that my homeland has directed upon them. Not that, you know, I am responsible, but that I can convey how much I do not approve of that and still ask for their forgiveness. And then you'd have to have a discipline of submission with these people, to know that I do not view myself as greater than them, but that I look at them with that love and care that Christ would look at them. My father and I went on a mission trip together to Swaziland, Africa, and there we held a pastors' conference for the national pastors. And at this conference, my dad performed a foot washing ceremony with the pastors. And so we came in and washed the pastors' feet. It was a very humbling and beautiful experience. And I think that type of thing could be very beneficial in this space, to show God's love to them in a submissive and loving, repenting way.